Welcome to the internet. Hello.
I think you guys are online, right? Aren't you online? Hold on. Yeah, there you
I'm
are.
online.
There you are.
I know I'm online. I'm getting an ad for some kind of Kung Fu Panda related thing.
Oh yeah.
Incredible,
Are they?
incredible.
I gotta at some point. I gotta figure out like our ad situation. At one point, I just clicked a button that said Twitch would like. They were like, if you let us set your ad scheduling, then you get more percentage. But I'm not so sure that that's like. I'm not so sure that that's worth it.
Right. Yeah,
'Cause
especially for
I
like a
wanna,
narrative kind of a thing.
Yeah.
You know, is there like there's like a snooze button that you can hit that like delays ads if they're about to come on or something like that?
Yeah, and I did that last time, once or twice. You can snooze it 3 times.
I like.
Oh, okay, so we have an ad. We have an ad that starts in 5 minutes, so I think we'll vamp until after that,
Okay.
Okay, cool.
and then we'll start.
I like the concept of having like little interim games that we play while the ads are playing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's very neat. But it could be that
I mean, bonus
we
point.
take like scheduled ad breaks and so that they come at narratively opportune moments.
Jesus,
I don't
I
know.
could do that because they are scheduled here. We have one in 4. We have one in 4 minutes. We have another in, I think, 35 minutes. Another in. So like I could. I'm not gonna try for that.
No,
Yeah, that
that's
sounds
Yeah.
hard.
I guess I
But
was
once I'm a
suggesting
master GM,
if you took them off the automated schedule, we could just it would be
Blend
easier
it
like I could
to
smash the
like
button.
yeah, exactly. You could sort of
I think I
just sort
can.
of build in a moment that we could stop and then
Oh, that's cool.
hit the button.
They call those hang cliffers, right?
Yeah, hang cliffers. That's right.
When you're hanging on a cliff. Yeah, hang cliffers.
When you're hanging a
Clifford's the
cliff,
friendly hang.
when you're hanging a cliff out to dry.
Hang it out. Uh, the ad. There's still 3 minutes and 16 seconds.
Oh,
Before the ad.
It's so long. Yeah.
have I told the story about Escher's new behavior? Because that can take
No,
like 3 minutes.
I don't think so.
No, go for it.
So Escher has officially reached like adult gecko weight, which
Okay.
means he is now an adult male gecko, which means he has become horny.
Ah.
So occasionally, uh, when I go near his tank, he will like try and charge the glass, and if I let him out, he will like come up onto my hand and then like make little mating chirps at me and try and bite my fingers.
Sure.
Uh-oh.
Like
Which
you
is
do.
which is hilarious because he is incapable of causing me physical harm. He is
Right.
too small.
Yeah.
Teeth are tiny, and he has like no bite pressure. So on the one hand, it's kind of hilarious, but on the other hand, I also hope that he like gets over it a little bit because it's sad that he is being aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I think I can actually run an ad. Should I try and run an ad?
If you manually run an ad, then it'll usurp
Remove the
program.
Oh, I can do it now. Yeah, I can do it. I can do it quicker.
Hell
I can
yeah,
do it quicker.
do it.
Okay, I'm gonna run an ad. So for the next minute and a half. Oh, sorry. Hold on. There's a pop-up that's telling me that I updated the layout, and it gets in the way of the layout. Oh no, I did it again because I tried to move it. Okay, we need to stop with the pop-ups. Okay, UI UX people. I thought
I
we had
do
talked
agree with
about
that.
this.
I've been getting it more and more in apps and websites of just like here's a pop-up that obscures the interface element that you were trying to use.
And especially for some reason for me, it's undo pop-ups. Like it's just wild. Okay, next auto ad is reduced by 1 minute 30 seconds. Pre-roll ads disabled for 32 minutes. Ad is in progress. 1 minute 14 seconds. Wonderful.
So now is when we tell secrets.
Machine.
Okay, so
Now
we're
is when
back.
we tell. This is premium content
It's
now.
like it's almost as though Amazon was trying to make money off of this.
Yeah, it's upsetting.
Trying, yeah.
I mean, other streams I watch usually use the ad time to like read subs because that's the part that like no one wants to see except the people who have subbed.
Reading
That's
subs.
funny.
Oh, as in like thanking people or something?
Yeah, just
Mhm.
yeah, like reading out the names
Yeah.
of like here are the people who have subscribed since last time, and like thank you to
Yeah.
this person and this person and this person.
Yeah, numbers are wild because I have 1,600 followers and 8 subscribers.
Yeah,
So it's like,
that seems like the funnel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I
Also,
follow a ton of people and don't subscribe to anyone, so I get it.
yeah, that makes sense. I get gifted a lot of subs because I also subscribe to Twitch Turbo, so I don't have ads. But that being said, I have like a handful of Twitch logins because I don't always want to be flying the League Rainer flag, you know, when I'm doing up to my nefarious gamer activities.
You have your sock puppets.
My sock puppets. Is that what they're called? I call them Smurfs.
Yeah, sock puppets is another name. Sock puppets are the accounts that you make in order to like either agree with or provoke argument with yourself on another account, so that you can have a public, public discourse where you control all the sides of it.
That's what they did in Shadow of the Hegemon or something, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh shit! I forgot about that.
That's a good callback. Wow.
I have no idea what that is.
That's so
Orson
good.
Scott Card stuff.
Yeah,
right?
the parallel series to Ender's Game.
Okay.
I only did Ender's Shadow of those secondary ones.
I still have not read
Ender's Internet.
Game. I know I should read Ender's Game at some point, but I have not.
Is it too late to read Ender's Game? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it
he's
might
got
be.
sort of.
I
gotta
read
of like where the world has gone.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's definitely too late to read Ender's Shadow. Xenocide for a long time was one of my absolute favorite books, and I need to read it again to see if it still is. But I feel like Kyla, you would enjoy that book for the reasons that I do.
Okay. Ender's Game or Ender's Shadow?
Xenocide.
Xenocide, which is the sequel to Ender's Game.
I see.
I have a weird question. So, y'all, are you familiar with? There was some fantasy or sci-fi book or series or whatever where there's these creatures that were kind of like weird bony horses, except they just had like 2 legs and the legs hooked into like stone wheels, and they would ride them around.
Oh yeah, that was
ringing any
the
bells?
Subtle Knife.
I was gonna say, isn't that one of the Dark Materials?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it the Subtle Knife or is it the third one?
It might be the third one. No,
I think it's the third one.
That was definitely not in the first book.
It was not in the first book. It was not in the first book. Yeah, maybe it was in the third one. It might be the third one.
When they go to the like land with the witches and they like undo the original.
What was that called? What the hell was that called?
Here's why I bring this up is because I've clearly remember those creatures, but they could have easily been in any number of different franchises. Just that weird sort of, you know what I mean? That was just
the Amber
Spyglass. Right.
Is it because they were weird enough that they could have been weird anywhere? Is that why they're?
Yeah, and they were just sort of unrelated.
Yeah.
Widely unrelated to anything else.
That book series has one of the most just like precipitous declines of any like fantasy fiction I've read. It devolved into utter nonsense.
I really liked The Subtle Knife.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's about, but I really liked it.
A lot of people read the first one like when it came out, and then there was a big gap and read the other 2. I read them all together, so it all sort of feels like this was all about killing God.
Well,
yes,
like, everyone got really
100%.
surprised by it.
I think I read them all together, but it was like I really liked the Golden Compass. The Subtle Knife was like pretty good, kind of okay, and then the Amber Spyglass is just like we're on a crusade to kill God now, and I'm like, okay, I guess.
Let's see if this knife is capable of deicide. All right, everybody, 10, 9, 8, 7, 3, 2. Sean, this time,
oh yeah, what do you want me to
switch
do?
to the switch to the view with all of us on it after the conclusion of the theme song.
Yes, I know I hit it way too early. It's because I had never heard the theme song before,
told you to
so
do
I didn't.
It early.
Okay, I'll do it after.
Yeah.
Anyways,
okay. Let's not do a countdown. We just need to.
I don't.
Actually,
Yeah, we don't actually
I
have
need
to count
start
in.
weaving.
Sure.
I need to just start weaving. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. I think I got it. Let's see. Two and many friends stand in the face of the invasive forest and attempt to this is a tough one. Okay. Hold on. Here we go. The invasive forest looms large. Currently, it's closed, but tomorrow morning, it will come alive once again and threaten to overtake Big Turtle Beach and the boardwalk. And 2 friends and a lot of gulls are all that stand in the way. Meanwhile, a gull has disappeared into a grate in the floor of the rotunda of City Hall. And it opens its eyes to a strange, foreboding, and eerie sight. Welcome to Blue, California. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. We made it. Episode 4. How y'all doing?
Great.
Excited.
It was great.
Yeah, we're doubling our episode count from episode 2.
Yeah.
So
that's right. Welcome to hour 7 of Blue, California. Okay, so when we left off, y'all were standing, I believe, outside. I know you were sitting on your butts, having been blasted by eldritch magics out of City Hall, and you were
we were on our way to go
about
find the mayor because he was at some construction site or something.
The vice mayor. Yeah, there's
yes.
No mayor. The mayor is gone.
That's right. The mayor's gone.
Yeah, mayor's gone.
The mayor pro tempore, or whatever the phrase is.
May or may not.
Hey.
So, yes, indeed. It is currently nighttime. And that is the right time to say, what are y'all doing?
I feel like there was something at the end of last time that like panicked the gulls into like demanding to go to the beach, but I don't fully remember why we were panicked. I think maybe it was just the road work.
The trees had encroached enough to hit the beach, right? And so that's the threat now.
Yes.
And the gulls care for the beach, I'd assume.
Yes. There was also, I think the vice mayor was like trying to pull up a road that was separating the trees from the beach so that they could like more easily attack it.
That's right.
That might have been the thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I also care about the beach, so I feel like we shouldn't take a night off necessarily. If there's something that we can do to,
Yeah, I think as soon as we all left the thing, the gulls started flying off towards the beach because they have information from the other gulls that are still at the beach that stuff's going down.
Right.
So they're
Uh,
heading off to help.
which I don't know that we have that information. Like, should we?
Like what we can do.
But well, should we follow the gulls? Like, this all happened off screen for us.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. The gulls know, and we're still just outside City Hall, right?
Yeah, the gulls know, and they can at least communicate to LJ a sense of panic.
Okay.
Sure.
If nothing else.
So. Yeah. So if you get a sense of panic,
familiar sense of panic from my iPad.
Yep.
Then we could follow gulls to the beach, I think.
Okay. Let's do it.
And Lee, what do we see at the beach? Is the construction effort? I assume. I mean, they work normal hours, right? Are they working into the night?
They are. They're working in the night.
Okay.
When you roll up near the beach, what you see from a distance is Vice Mayor Greaves with a little hard hat on. It's like a spotless hard hat. It's got no scrapes or dents. And then you see a crew of about 3 people, and they have much more scuffled hard hats, and they are jackhammering, sledgehammering, and I'm guessing, yeah, they've got like a little bobcat, you know, those movers, shakers. They have one of those, and they're working in the night. It's lit by floodlights that they have there, and they're just straight up taking the road down. Like 3 people. You've never seen 3 people just taking a road down.
Is this like the road into town? Is this like some variation of a PCH kind of a road, or
this is the road between the this is the road that marks the end of Big Turtle Beach. So it kind of goes through town, but it's not the road to town.
Okay.
Is it like bounded? So I was just in Oceanside, California last weekend, and like just past the beach, there is a road that is, you know, a car can drive on it, but it has a bike path, etc. Like a lot of the California cities have.
Yeah.
Is it that road? Is it basically the bounding road where on one side is sand and on the other side is commerce?
Yes, it is. It is the road that separates those elements. It's kind of it's a liminal, powerful sort of road that he's doing away with.
But it's just no one else is aware that no one else is here. Is that what we don't see anyone else? Just these 3 jackhammering, just these 3 men versus road.
3 men versus 4 men versus road. 4 men. Well, I don't know that they're men.
I guess that's true.
Sorry. You're right.
I don't even know what their genders are.
LJ,
their genders are TBD.
Isn't your ice cream shop like
construction worker?
Like right here, like on the boardwalk here?
Yeah, I'm guessing that I mean, we've talked about it as on the boardwalk. I'm guessing that it is right on the other side of that road. Are they ripping things up right in front of the ice cream shop, right in front of the businesses, or is that where we are?
Yeah, let me think about that. It's so the boardwalk definitely, like, how to put this? Let's make things simple. So the road that they're tearing up runs parallel to the shoreline. The boardwalk runs perpendicular to the shoreline because it stretches from that road to the shoreline, and then it continues out into a pier. And the businesses are all on the they're on the bit of boardwalk that looks onto the beach. That's on the beach. So the answer is yes. This is like touching the edge of the end of the boardwalk.
Okay.
Yeah, I think all of the gulls are very upset. All of the beach flock and the boardwalk flock are both very upset because territory walls are coming down, and also, like, what the heck are they doing? And also Greaves, which we all hate unconditionally. We're definitely gonna dive bomb him a little bit. He's never safe outdoors in Blue California.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is.
Although he does have a helmet on. He does have a
He does
helmet
have
on.
a helmet on. Yeah, he's smart to protect his to protect himself. But we're gonna give it the old gull try anyway.
Okay, I wanna leave this scene on a. I gotta edit. I gotta cut away from this scene. So can you just give me something to cut on? Like, can you start? Can you just say, like, so and so, like, ooh, maybe somebody takes a step forward to do something, and we're gonna cut away. What do you think? Start a move, maybe.
So I think start a move that we are going to interrupt.
So we're gonna immediately interrupt.
Okay. Fine. Hold on. You all stand there, and you see these three workers of indeterminate gender and then grebes silhouetted, well, alternately silhouetted and then almost blown out by these floodlights. And you look upon this eerie scene, and you hear only the sound of the crashing waves, and then the weird, almost militaristic sound of the jackhammers pounding.
Oof.
And no one else
Damn.
is out here right now. Meanwhile,
Okay.
Was it the scrungly bird that went
Yes.
into the grate?
Yes. Scrunglebird.
Okay, Scrunglebird. Scrunglebird, you, as your eyes adjust, you pop down into this grate. Now this is cutting back a bit in time, but that's okay.
I was trying to eat some kind of like black ooze or red ooze that came out of one of the bureaumancy
Yes.
things.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so out of the is it tumult or tumult? Tell me later. Out of the tumult above in the rotunda tumult, which is also the name of the front desk person. You follow this strange, icky, sticky flow of red material down the drain, and you go through one twist, two twists of piping, and you pop out the end, and your eyes adjust, and you find yourself at the top of a massive, almost unbelievably large, cavernous room under the catacombs, or under the rotunda. And it's you heard Silver Julius make reference to the catacombs with your amazing bird hearing and also your telepathy, which may have just sort of gone back in time, but that's also precedented in this show. So so you're kind of putting two and two together a little bit.
So bird is in the catacombs.
Rotunda
there's
yeah.
Rotunda
Now I gotta
combs.
rotunda combs. Now I gotta take
There's usually a lot of like catacombs implies dead bodies. Is there like rotting flesh for Scrunglebird to try and
Well,
eat?
there's a lot going on here, so I'm gonna need a little
Mood music.
musical help.
Nice.
In the middle of this huge room, there's a raised platform, and on this platform, being lit by sort of unseen lights and glowing with a sort of deep red, almost organic, fleshy tones of light spilling onto it, you see an enormous crystal seagull. And inside this crystal seagull swirls an impossible amount of fog. This crystal seagull is wrapped, almost cocooned, from the neck down in red tape. This sort of bureaucratic red tape that you've seen before. It looks like something that was purchased at very low cost. But it seems to be holding this gull firmly in place.
How big
Beside
is
the gull is impossibly large. Stories and stories and stories. It's gargantuan. Next to the gull, you see what look like two stumps of very strange tree. And around them, you see the crumbled remains of something large, something also incredibly, impossibly huge. That is the what remains of it is nothing but large chunks of strange polished wood.
Interesting. So this giant crystal seagull, is it too big for me to flirt with? Because that
Asking the right questions.
that is definitely
No,
Scrumblebird's
I'm
first
gonna say no.
flirt
Nothing.
with giant crystal seagull. Land on the beak, kind of see if she likes the crazy eye. You know, usual gull flirtation techniques.
Do they usually like the crazy eye, or?
It depends on if they also have a good crazy eye. If they also are crazy eyed, then it usually works out. Scrungle Bird is a real Casanova in certain very specific circles. And yeah, definitely going to try and make a move on Big Crystal Bird.
This is very interesting. Okay, so can you describe in a bit more? Well, I guess one of us has to. Would you like to describe it in more detail, or else I can? Which of us wants to do the poetry here?
I think it involves a lot of, like, you know, landing on the giant beak, and then kind of doing a little, like, tippy tappy dance with the feet. You know, ruffle the wings, put the tail up a little bit, put the tail down a little bit, more tippy, and then you do what the albatross does, which is you put the head straight back and up, and then quickly down again. This is the seagull mating ritual.
Landing on the giant beak. Hold on. Let's do this.
You have
landing on the giant beak. Landing on the giant beak, you preen and prance and do the tippy tappy dance of your people, looking into the enormous glassy crystal eye behind which swirls only the impenetrable fog that fills the rest of this massive creature. You do what the albatross does, and you look up and you look down. You look into the crystal eye, which regards you without movement. And actually, I can use a little more sauce here. But welling in that eye, you see a large, perfectly clear single tear that is, again, larger than you, far larger than you. And it wells in the eye and it rolls down the side of the beak, down the neck, down the body of this thing, split a bit by the red tape, and falls down to the platform below, which is a bit in darkness to you. It's a bit obscured simply by distance. You could go down there and examine more. You can go to other parts of this room and examine more. It's a large space, so you will have to be intentional in the way that you explore it.
So the thing I followed in here originated from, like, an attack made of red tape. So I definitely do associate that with, like, uh, being an enemy and like being bad. Can I try and like uh, tug and bite at some of the tape around the statue and see if I can budge it a little bit?
Absolutely. That's a great idea. Do you want to choose a move for that?
Yeah, sure. Let me see what all moves I have available here.
Also, a quick shout out to Orphalaf, who subbed with Prime, and with Lothar, who subbed. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Let me get, okay, basic moves. I want to try and inflict harm on the ribbon, which I guess is fight for your life. That doesn't feel quite appropriate here, but
I don't think that is the one.
No, I think
in this game,
it would maybe be face fear. I think
could be a face fear. Yeah.
okay, sure, I can do a face fear roll. Let me make sure that. Okay, I don't have any other like moves in the thing. Okay, I got my red d6s here in my
good.
dice cube. Okay. Rolling some dice. I got 2 1s.
Woo!
Damn. What a way
that
to
sounds
start.
delicious to me. What do I get to do? What do I get to do?
I do get. I mean, I do have some bonus to whatever this is. Pluck.
Mhm.
I have +2 to pluck, but that's still only a 4,
Yeah.
so it's not gonna do it.
Oof. Thought pluck was a bad word for birds.
It depends. It depends.
Okay. Okay. So everything. Okay. It says on a miss, everything goes to hell. Okay.
Something very bad happens to me for trying to mess with these ribbons, I guess. Do they have some kind of innate protective force to them that is damaging?
As you peck and pluck at these ribbons of red tape, you it seems as though you're able to make some headway into them, but as you're doing so, trying to loosen them, you fail to notice more strands of it slithering up the side of the giant crystal gull, and before you know it, they've grabbed your little webbed foot, and then they've grabbed your little body, and then they're wrapping around your neck, and before you know it, you also have been held in place, and you are now held fast to the side of the crystal gull, unable to move.
Okay. I am going to send like a sort of panicked notice to the other birds. Like, oh hey, shit's going down. Something here is real bad. There's
Okay.
is
there
kind
a
of share with them what
yeah,
I see.
I want to see
don't know.
if
I don't know
there's
that
something
they're a
we can
little
roll for that.
distracted. They're a little distracted at the moment.
Yes.
So they
I
may
want
not.
to see
They
if
may not respond to me right away. I do have like.
what's your character sheet say about such things?
I have a collective.
Is there a way we can put pressure on that? That's what I'm asking.
So if I'm suffering a point of harm, one of my bodies is incapacitated. So the Gestalt move on the Zeitgeist sheet.
Yeah.
Your collective psychic consciousness that spans multiple human crossed out bodies. You start with 4 bodies, which is in this case 4 flocks, each representing one of the harm boxes. Each time you suffer a point of harm, one of your bodies is incapacitated. When all of your bodies are incapacitated, your unified consciousness unravels and you are dead. A single attack can never inflict more than 1 harm against you unless it has the spread or area tag and you have multiple bodies nearby, which I don't. So
yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna give you a harm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna take a harm. and that corresponds to this gull being incapacitated. Your message travels through gull space and bubbles up as a stray thought that then comes to the forefront of the mind of another gull. Do you wanna tell us what gull that is and where they are?
So Scrungle Bird is I think is a member of the gulls that are watching City Hall. So the others, the City Hall gulls have not gone off to the beach. That's where the boardwalk um and the beach gulls are. So I think um the City Hall gulls are going to try and like help, but they can't probably get into the building at this point. It's pretty locked down. They would need like an open window or something. So there's just going to be like a very like noisy, loud, and what's the word? Upset, I guess. There's another word I'm looking for, but an upset flock of gulls around City Hall for now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there.
Cool. That is a wonderful time to hop back over to Coda and LJ and the whichever gulls are
agitated. That's the word.
entouraging you.
Agitated.
Yeah. Right now, it does not seem that anyone else on the scene here has seen you.
Do I recognize the vice mayor? Do I know him?
Yes, at this point you all recognize him.
Okay.
So we see Greaves, we see three. We're pretty close enough to hear intermittent jackhammering, but not close enough to be spotted. Is that right?
That is right. If you hang out here long enough, you could imagine that they could spot you. Like if they
well, there's a whole
think
forest right here. Like, let's kind of step into the forest.
Just
I think that
step
will provide
into the
cover.
invasive forest. Sure, we could be on the edge of the forest.
Yeah, not deep, but
you guys don't have to do this, but as a reminder from last time, I believe your goal was to make a deal with the mayor because LJ, you had seen some future premonition of like making an agreement in his office and determined that he was probably the one who had the power to stop the.
Yeah, my deal is my goal is to make a deal via phone with the mayor, or else I'm gonna have to mark some anomaly because things are not going to work out. To that end,
okay.
To that, I mean, so I've got a thought here. Just looking.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Turn to you, Coda, and of course, you know, you're the What's the name of my bird again? It's that one with the patch,
mind bird, right?
Yeah,
the mind bird. Mind bird has like a little spot on the eye,
or a little black spot on the neck, like a little black feather. That's kind of erroneous.
Yeah. Coda, my friend. We've been pursuing this forest for. Hold on.
Oh no.
Yeah, just waiting for the jackhammer to be done.
That was just I know that made the automatic noise canceling go really weird.
Okay, good to know. I won't do it again. We've been pursuing this forest in Grebe for some time. I've seen two things happen. I've seen the forest pushed back, and I've seen a deal made with Grebe, and both times he's thwarted the future. He's thwarted the ice cream. He is pushing against everything that needs to happen. I don't think we can do this alone. I don't think. Look at him. He has this. He has that. He points, forest. We need to find some help. The community, the people that crowd, they did nothing.
Nothing. community is worthless.
Do we know it's community? The community is. I wouldn't go that far.
Okay,
but,
all right.
But no, maybe you're right. Here's my question: do we know anything? Do we know anyone who can stand up against greed? Because if you do, this is the time to enlist their help. And I guess this is either just a straight up who do we know, or this is a assess reality.
Okay, before you assess reality, because that is something that I think you could maybe do. How pointedly is LJ asking this question of Coda, who disappeared for a year and then came back?
I think I'm sort of pointedly asking it somewhat. I think I'm somewhat pointedly asking this to Coda and saying, let's. I think we need to. I mean, really, what I want to do here. It might not be assess reality. I might really be embracing chaos, because ultimately, I think we need to find we need to find.
I hear you.
To get on our side.
I hear you. And Lee, I don't actually know how this works, and you are the arbitrator of it, or the arbiter, I guess. I don't think that we are confronting chaos at the moment. I think we would have to actually confront some
Probably
chaos for you to be able to embrace it. Okay, so Coda hears this, and Coda is aware that he has an option. I've got a move that I could do, which is my dissonant whispers, which is I could let the voices in my head be heard. Coda is extremely reluctant to do that. Yeah, I think Coda's really reluctant to do that. So
your other option is to go up and try and talk the mayor into it, right?
No, it's not. It's not. Well, and that doesn't work, I don't think, Kyla, because it has to be on the phone. Is that what you said? Is that what LJ saw?
I mean, yes, that's what I would need to happen. I'd settle for finding a way to push the forest back to its boundaries.
I think that this isn't how we're going to make the deal. And I don't think we're going to convince these construction workers to stop tearing up the road while the vice mayor is right here with his authority.
Yes.
I think we need to sabotage that bobcat. What I'm thinking is you're not wrong that we need help and we need to figure something out and we're not equipped to actually stop this, but there's a urgency. There's a priority A and a priority B. Priority B is to somehow figure out how we're going to get the vice mayor to make a deal over the phone, because we know it's going to happen if we can make it happen. Priority A is we got to stop them from ripping up the road. And if we can stop them from ripping up the road tonight, that buys us some time.
This is you, Sean, expressing this, not for
I think Coda doesn't say, "Hey, I don't want to do my dissonant whispers," but I think Coda says, "Listen, there's we have to stop them. You're absolutely right. We have to stop them." And making deals or trying to argue with the vice mayor isn't gonna do it. We have to take down their machinery. If they can't work, they won't work, right? This is bureaucracy. They've got systems and things, and if their equipment malfunctions, then they all go home for the night.
You make a good point.
All right, I am immediately going to attempt to create a distraction. I'm gonna dive bomb. I'm gonna dive bomb whoever is driving that piece of machinery, and try and peck at his ears and pull him off enough that he gets at least unseated from the machine, so it's more difficult to see them if they do anything.
So the bobcat is the thing ripping up the road as well. Okay, cool. Let's see what happens with your distraction.
And jackhammers.
There's a lot of individual things. This is a lot of to go at this directly is a lot of scrapping. We're gonna
Listen,
be.
that's all the seagulls.
No, I know it's great. It's great.
Traps are their whole thing.
We're all here for a seagull fight.
I want to see it actually happen.
It's a very D&D solution, like just seagulls versus construction folk.
Construction equipment.
I think that if we can take down the Bobcat, like, yeah, they have jackhammers, but they're not going to be able to do the whole road by jackhammer.
Okay.
I think they'll know they have to call it.
Okay, well, I can help with this. My plan here would be I have this giant Zweihander two-handed
That's true,
ice
you
pick
do.
thing. I would probably be down for trying to fight for my life and jam that into the treads of the Bobcat.
Yeah.
But distraction first, right? We have to.
I was gonna say you can maybe do it without being seen by them if I can get off a good distraction.
Let's
first.
start with
Yeah, so I'm gonna do a fight for your life because I'm directly engaging a threat.
Yep.
And I'm gonna try and I want to try and like grab the side of him and like pull him. In an ideal world, I want to get him like so that he gets distracted into moving the machine in the direction of the jackhammers to create a collision. But I will also settle for just getting him off the machine. All right, so I'm rolling some dice.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little better. That's a 9 plus 2 pluck. So it's 11.
Yay! I like that number.
So I'm going to. Okay, so that means I get an extra effect, and I'm gonna suffer less harm. I'm like not gonna take harm from doing this as my additional effect. Or do I want to do it instead? All right, no. You know what? This is Frosted Tips Bird is going to take one for the team at the moment. Instead of suffer less harm, what I'm going to do is force them where you want them. I'm going to try and make this Bobcat crash into the jackhammers. Or like, go in that direction. It's probably not very fast. They probably have time to get out of the way, but
the jackhammers are heavy. Do they have time to get the jackhammers out of the way?
Probably not. You'd have to drop them and run.
Okay. So the two effects you're doing are, you said, force them where you want them.
I think I only get one effect.
Don't you get an extra?
You got a 10 plus, so you do get two effects.
Oh, in that case, the other one will be suffer less harm.
Okay. And can you describe exactly? Sorry, I'm sure you may have said this already, but can you describe exactly what this skull does?
So Frosted Tips Bird, like dive bombs at the side of this guy's head and starts like pulling at his ear, pulling at his like the shoulder, arm, and things to try and get him to like like swat over at the bird so that the thing he's controlling is like now one-handed and is sort of turning in the wrong direction and get running a little out of control.
Cool, sounds good. So as you do that, the wickedestness of your beak is deflected by the mighty armor of the personal protective equipment, which reduces the harm of the person. So the person is not injured. However, you do succeed in forcing them where you want them, which is, as you said, you finagle you finagle their steering such that this Bobcat is now whirled around to a degree, and the person in the seat is sort of flailing a bit and does accidentally bump into the lever that makes it go forward, and the Bobcat gives a high-pitched growl and a meow or something, a yowl, as it begins to steam forward. It rears back about to strike. Let's see. They also deal damage to you, which is reduced. They swing and swipe at you, which would be 1 harm, but you've reduced that to no harm with your masterful scrapping skills.
What a roll.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
That. So that's that. And as I said, the bobcat is reared back. Other people are starting to react to this. The other 3 people are going to be looking up at it, and I'm going to freeze time in that moment to say, are you doing is anybody doing something else?
Yeah, I think I was gonna. My plan here was to disable the bobcat in a nastier way by jamming this giant 2-hander ice pick into the treads as it's on the move. I'm happy to put myself in harm's way. I feel like this is more fight for your life. I'm getting under
Okay.
Okay.
I do want to like. So when you engage with a threat, that threat has usually like a weapon, and so when you take damage, it's based on the damage amount that weapon can wield. So I do just want to encourage you to consider how much harm a piece of heavy construction equipment could do in theory before you take this.
Well, I have timeless, which means my body resists alteration, and harm is always reduced by 1. So this is probably where I would.
Okay.
If
Sure.
it happens, and this is where I would probably find that out, that things are not that I don't need to worry about that quite as much. I'm not going to try to I'm not literally like trying to get under the treads, right? I am trying to do something dangerous, which is stick a giant metal stick into the tread of a moving thing. But I'm willing to take that. I'm willing to take that.
What does into the tread mean? Because the tread is like the belt, right?
I'm thinking of it. So I probably have a very 8-year-old cartoon understanding of a tread of like how this works. I am imagining the tread. I'm imagining the 2-wheel and sort of the 2 wheels, and like that there is some place that you can sort of jam something. That there's some mechanism spinning this thing that you can jam something to jam up the works. I'm imagining that.
Oh, there's 2 kinds of bobcats. This does not have treads. This has big old tractor wheels.
Okay, that's the kind that I've used before. Yeah, totally.
I was picturing this one, which is I put in the Twitch chat, which does have treads. In fact,
you can outfit your bobcat with a variety of feet. Yeah.
Tractor tires.
Okay, tractor tires. So tractor tires, are they inflated? Can you just pop this tire? Coda is back a bit in the forest still, like under the cover of the trees. A little bit feeling panicked because this was not exactly what he had in mind, and I'm afraid that LJ is going to go to jail over this, which I guess is sort of like a cool thing to do as like a protest move, but that's I'm worried about how exposed you are. Like the vice mayor is just going to see you and arrest you.
This is true.
Not if his face is covered in seagulls.
That's true. That might be true.
So, okay. So part of this premise doesn't really work of getting it. Like, I mean, I guess what I could do here, the simpler option, right? If we're saying treads negotiable to non-existent.
Okay.
And this thing is rearing. This thing is rearing back, right? This thing. I mean, I guess I could just.
Does it have a soft underbelly?
I mean, maybe destroying this thing is less the thing than standing in front of it, stopping it from doing whatever, seeing if they will go to a stop. You know, this sort of being good in front of the bulldozer sort of thing. seeing if running over a person is not on their punch card for the day.
Okay.
But it
I can work
seems
with
like
this.
the thing was to, because I don't think what was like you were saying we need to disable this now, and I was very inspired by that.
Yeah. No, clearly.
I was maybe a little over inspired by it. But I think, this is probably, is this more face fear or fight for your life? How do you see this? I'm getting in front of the bobcat.
Getting in front of the bobcat would be face fear, because you're not trying to inflict harm.
Yeah, I think at this point, if we're down to this bobcat doesn't have something that can be disabled easily with an ice pick, which it sounds like we're not. I think I'm just getting in front of this thing and using that as a moment for parlay.
Okay.
Okay. So rolling 2d6. So this is definitely.
Now, if you do stand in front of it and yell parlay, that's also
that's pretty good.
Just kidding. That would be very silly.
I don't. It's not so much the bobcat I want to parlay with, but I'll fight. It's plus pluck. Would you consider this, given that this thing has been ripping up? Would you consider that stopping this thing is something that would be an action that would make the forest rolling back more likely to transpire? I'm trying to decide. I have a +1 ongoing to anything that does that. And
yes, I would say that does apply.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got a +2 here.
Okay.
And even with that +2, I got pair of twos.
Oh, no.
So that's
a 6.
Six happens sometimes.
And that was for face fear?
That was for face fear. On a miss, everything goes to hell.
I'm really worried about
Everything
this because the gulls just distracted the driver.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking too. You may not notice that you're there.
There are times when I have narrative license, and there are times when I simply must serve the clear narrative outcomes. The bobcat rears back, sort of pivots on its hind wheels at the gulls after what the gulls have done to it. The driver is flung off the side and rolls to a crumpled stop as the bobcat also falls forward, smashing its bucket onto your head, LJ. Does anybody know how much damage?
I should probably have been looking
I'm gonna
up.
go more than one. I'm willing to go with 2. Do you guys think it should be more than that? I don't know. Harm is pretty big. Like,
I was gonna say, harm is a big a big thing. Taking more than one harm at once is like serious. And
so is it something where it would be 2, but because I'm timeless, it's rounded down to a 1 cushion?
Yeah, that's what it would be.
I'm gonna hand you 2 harm, but can you give us a little poetry on what happens to reduce it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that I'm getting under this thing. Me and the gulls were at cross purposes, where I was trying to stop the driver, whereas the driver just got flung off by gulls, and a giant bucket descends on my head, and my life doesn't flash before my eyes any more than it normally does. The same amount, the normal amount of life flashing before my eyes. And as it drops, in my confusion, I feel basically, this wall of metal drops down, and in front of my forehead, an icy sheen basically appears in an instant, with flecks of glowing gummy through it.
Oh, okay.
And I'm jolted back. I'm pushed I'm pushed back, but the bobcat's pushed back a bit too and rocks back. And that's the first time I've seen the effects of timelessness. And the glowing gummy just sort of settles back down. That sort of weird icy sheen goes away, and I rub my forehead, and whatever plan I had, I've lost. It is I am deeply, I'm shell shocked here.
Deeply concussed.
Yes, I'm mildly concussed, which is deeply confusing.
Right.
Yeah, your timeline got knocked back into your head. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Scooby Doo gang has had their swing. Greebs yells, "Again? Really? How did you even how do you kids keep finding me and bothering me when I'm doing road work in the middle of the night? How could anyone have known that I was here? What do I have to do to shake you?" And the two other construction workers who are conscious are looking up at Greaves as if to say, like, "Ooh, what do we do now? Boss is mad." They've momentarily stopped the jackhammering and stuff.
I have to think
Greaves,
this can't be union, right? Like they wouldn't be allowed to work this late.
on the contrary, Kyla, everything here is
They get paid overtime.
completely by all the books. It's by
yeah,
every book.
As long as they're playing, as long as they're getting paid overtime.
Lee,
night pay's gotta be intense.
am I have not stepped out into the area. I'm still sort of like hiding behind a tree or something. Am I visible at this point? Like, have they noticed me?
This is a good question. I mean, you did mention that you were stepping into the trees, so I'm going to say you are not visible.
Okay.
Because you haven't. Yeah, you've been. Yeah, everything you've said has led to that eventuality.
So the thing that I'm interested in, sort of trying to suss out, is the relationship between LJ and the three conscious people and the Bobcat. Is like, I'm interested in, do I think I could sneak out to the back of the Bobcat and remain hidden while LJ has the attention of these three people?
That's going to be a roll. The default roll would be either...
I think that's a face fear.
It would be a face fear, or it could be a hoodwink.
Oh, okay.
The hoodwink is a bit more of a stretch, but I think you could do that.
I don't think that I hoodwink very well. I would rather face my fear.
Okay.
That is a 9.
Okay.
Facing fear. So
your ploy. Face fear. You get a worse outcome, a hard choice, or a price to pay.
Okay.
Do you want to pick one of those?
A hard choice is always fun. You know what I would love, and I don't mean to like metagame this, but I would love,
sure.
because I get XP for this, I would love to recognize that I have an opportunity to step in and save LJ, and instead remain hidden and sneak up behind the Bobcat. Leaving LJ to fend for himself and or get into some kind of trouble.
So I'm gonna say it's a price to pay, because the price is that LJ, you see that Coda could have helped you, but you see Coda sneaking around, being weird.
So it's sort of a like, I thought we were in this together,
Right.
and
yeah.
social price to pay.
I'm deliberately staying hidden and letting you take the brunt of all of this.
Okay, so I think you don't have that.
Surfboard strapped to your back.
Mhm.
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
then
now,
if I can get behind the Bobcat, and there's nobody driving it, I have a weapon, that is called Abyssal Embrace.
Whoa. Okay.
And if I have it is intimate and slow, so I need to get right up on somebody, and it takes some time, but I can deal 2 harm using my Abyssal Embrace.
Okay.
And I want to do that to the like engine, which is in the back, or I don't know if it's literally the engine, but looking at a picture of a Bobcat, there is important mechanical components placed squarely in the back of this device.
We'll call that the target zone.
The target zone.
Or the weak point.
I'm going to do my best to deal massive damage here.
Okay, do you want to go ahead and you're going to do a 1-2 combo into another move here. Do you want to just roll another move?
Yeah, is this another face fear, or is this I
think it's your weapon is Abyssal Embrace.
Yes.
Oh, so this is a
But I'm not exactly
Coda.
I don't know if I'm directly engaging the threat. I am trying to do harm using my weapon.
This is like a wreck. This would be in a different game it would be wreck.
In a different game it would be wreck. I'm guessing it's face fear just because I'm not attacking an opponent who is fighting back. Instead I'm trying to like sabotage a piece of equipment.
You know what? When you hid, instead of hoodwink, when you hid, we should have done save your skin, because that's run, hide, or evade danger.
Okay.
And that's plus wits. Anyway, just that's a side note. Yeah, let's do face fear. I mean, the only thing I don't like about face fear is that on a failure, it's just I have to just make everything go to hell, which is fine, but it's not as.
I mean, I feel like that's not so difficult in this instance because I am seen and brought into the thing, and all of my betrayal of my friend was for naught.
That's true, and also you wouldn't get mushed because the Bobcat already mushed someone because it was going forward.
Yeah, and there's nobody driving it. All right, so I'm gonna face my fear, and that's an 8, which I think is still a worse outcome, a hard choice, or a price to pay. I'm trying to.
Oh, I do like those. Yeah, I do like those.
I'm gonna embrace the back of this Bobcat and try to just like.
Okay.
What?
Do it.
I want I open up my arms. I literally just sort of like wrap my arms around the back of this machine. And I let the whispers in the back of my head out to play. I stop sort of like just, suppressing them with all of my willpower and focus on how I want to destroy everything inside of my reach. Sort of like I've created this space in front of me, within sort of my reach that I just want to I want to corrode it. I want to compress it. I want like salt water to just rust it and to crush it with pressure. Yeah. I'm
As you do that, as you let that power flow from you, you feel it run like rivulets between your fingers, as if they're the rocky coast of an island, and that sheer power flows liquid like off of your hands and begins to pour sort of out of your body, and it fills it floods the back of this bobcat, this energy, this power that you're giving off. And in moments, the machinery becomes encrusted with what looks like sea salt. It becomes rusted as if it's been left out for 10 years, just taking on the sort of brine and humid, sort of almost cloud forest air that the sea whips up. And then, as you say, the tremendous depth of the ocean flashes through your mind, as then that brittle metal just suddenly, in a moment, in a massive pressure differential, equalizes, and it crunches, and the back of the bobcat has now been crumpled into a small sort of lump in front of you. And it's what comes to mind is the places where small towns and communities on the shorelines create these sort of folk unofficial dumping grounds off the side of small cliffs, where things like washing machines and other appliances just sit in the tide pools and become older over time. And that's what you have done.
Okay, it's gonna be hard to make that look like an accident.
Gulls did it. Blame it on the gulls.
On the contrary, Coda, no one could have done that.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
It's hard to be like, those damn kids turned this into a seaside relic.
Okay.
Okay.
The bobcat is slain, I think.
Was this? I mean, I imagine this made a lot of noise. Is this? Is the group talking directly to LJ? Have they sort of like turned around to see what the fuck is going on behind the bobcat?
Yeah, you're right. It did create sort of a metal screeching and shuddering sort of thing, which is not to mention the like pulsive sort of sort of vibes that shoot out of you.
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The waves of vibes, with your salty vibes. So yes, this draws Greeb's attention. He it confounds him for a few moments, such that now you are discovered, but you also have, again, sort of the upper hand, or at least you have a moment. He has not decided yet what to do next. You just with your reflexes, and the sort of push and pull and the flow of how encounters happen, you notice that he has not done what he did last time he wanted to get rid of you quickly, which is, scrawl out a new ordinance. Mm-hmm. So you can tell that he's taking a moment to consider things.
And he said what? And he said what he said before was, "What do you need to do? Like, what do I need to do to get rid of you kids?" Right?
Yes.
And
at this point, yeah. Mm-hmm. exactly. Well, he
Okay.
also expressed. I mean, he very much expressed that he doesn't know how and why you keep
Why we keep popping
dogging
up?
him.
Sure. Yeah.
And also, we have an ad starting in a minute. So during this momentary break, I'd like to play a game that I'm calling Gull Memories. Coda, can you please, or I guess, wait,
Oh,
Jamie, LJ was the last one speaking. Sorry. LJ, um, you flash back to your first memory with a local seagull. Can you tell me what that may have been like?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Um, my dad was this was running the ice cream shop back when it was a cart out front, and I was behind, and he was distracted. And what I remember watching a gull land on the cart, um, and peck as dad was distracted, peck at the glass. And I thought to myself, this, and I was sort of watching it, thinking, this bird is, I like this poor bird is never going to be able to get what it wants. Um, but it actually pecked hard enough to chip the glass. And I remember starting back, and the gull looked up at me, looked me right in the eyes, and I realized there's more power here than I expected. And
Ooh, huh,
and the gull flew off.
that's amazing. Okay, another goal memory. Coda, what is your first memory of the Blue California Gulls?
I mean, I feel like it must have been surfing. And I'm imagining that, there have always been gulls around. The gulls are just sort of like a characteristic of the beach. They're often an annoyance, and something that sort of blends into the scenery. But there was one day that I caught, like the waves were choice, and I caught just like I felt like I was gliding on the surface of the ocean, like I was flying, and there's this gull that came down and flew with me while I was on this incredibly sustained, uh, uh, you know, fuck, I don't know surfing terms at all, but like riding this wave, I was just like in a barrel or whatever, and it was just like a really good one, and it went for a long time, and this bird came down and was just like level with me and flying along, and it felt like we were sharing a moment, and it like
Yeah.
opened my eyes to the seagulls as creatures again, and not just sort of a facet of living in a beach town.
That's amazing. I love that. And that's when they became real to you again.
Exactly.
I do want to shout out Gamja Bar 9 has gifted 10 subscriptions to the
Incredible.
channel. Amazing. Thank you so
Thank
much. Our subscribers have more than doubled.
Yeah, that's wild. Thank you so much.
Zodmo Biffy fell asleep and has no idea what's going on. So that's easy. We can catch you up on that one. We still have 30 seconds left of ad.
I was gonna say it's also possible you didn't miss anything. We're just side storying because of ads.
Yeah,
That's
we're
on
side
when
storying
they fell
because
asleep.
of ads.
Yeah.
Although I do think that like a mid episode kind of what happened is never a bad thing.
Agreed.
We had the gulls saw strange things under the catacombs, which I think is uh, I actually will leave that one for now. But since then, they've been uh, they've been encountering this construction site. The birds harried one of the drivers of a bobcat driver, LJ tried to stop the bobcat by appealing to its good nature and got whacked really bad with the front bucket, but it was deflected somewhat by his tenuous relationship with space-time. And then Coda snuck around behind the bobcat, which made LJ somewhat irritated, or not irritated, but a bit betrayed, feeling that Coda was sneaking around instead of helping. But then Coda channeled his entropic powers and crunched the back of the bobcat and withered it away. And that's kind of where we are now. The ad break is over. Sorry, the gulls. By the way, on that game we played in the ad break called Gull Memories. Those are memories of gulls, not gull memories. Not memories.
It was different than what I expected.
I was also thinking.
Exactly.
It's fine. The gulls keep their memories very close to the chest.
Of course.
to the feathered breast, if you will.
Yes. Yeah. So now we return to the present. And you have Greaves at a disadvantage here. He doesn't know what to do next. So do you want to steer this situation? Otherwise, he'll figure out what he wants to do.
The immediate instinct of the gulls is clearly to just mob him in the face. That is what they do.
DPS, AOE DPS.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna let the crew, the three of you as a crew, kind of mull it over though.
Yeah, I think the gulls could easily try and provide cover if you guys want to try and dash away. Like they can just, harry everyone in the area, not necessarily cause any damage, but just make a big ruckus, be in everybody's faces.
Yeah. On my side, he said exactly what I needed to hear, which is, what do we need to do to what do we need to do to get the? So I need to. So what my plan would be to do two things in probably the wrong order. To figure out, to say, hey, we this forest needs to go away. I know it needs to go away. Tell us what we can do. We will make a trade. We'll do something that you need, if that. And probably at some point in this, I'm going to rewind myself to the office where I know that this happens, because I can jump back to any place from the timeline. So I know that this happened over the phone and not over things. So I'll probably end up messing that up.
Oh,
I
shit.
don't know.
Okay. Oh my God. Yeah.
That's probably a little, I mean, those are two separate things, right? Negotiating and rewinding to his office to do it. So
sorry.
Well, so I'll give you this. Oh, yeah.
Are you saying that you go up to him and you're like, hey, let's make a deal?
Yes.
Just
yes.
and then you call him and you're like, all right,
that's exactly what I'm gonna say. What I was thinking I was gonna do is saying, going up to him and saying basically, yes, like you've caused something terrible with these trees, and if we can work out oh wait, no, this isn't where this happens, and then disappearing and going back to the and calling him from his office and continuing the conversation from there. That's sort of what I was that was my plan. I don't know if anyone has a better plan.
Because of that masterful weirdness you're wielding over there, you do notice, because you're clued into these things, you notice that he's got his and I swear to God, I didn't even invent this. This is how I always imagined it since we talked about it last time. He's got a full ass rotary phone just on his belt.
Amazing. Amazing. I feel like I have to.
I didn't invent that.
No, it's so good. That's so good. I have to do this. I start to do my spiel about look, we know that this forest is. Oh, hold on one second, and then I'm gonna do my rewind, which is a move. I have a plus chaos, but it also definite +1 forward on this.
One second. Before you roll that, I just want to look at. I may make a decision here really quick. Actually, no, you can go ahead.
Roll it. Okay, I'm gonna roll it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. 10. So I end up back in his office. According to this, I arrived there no problem. So I hold on 1 second. I pick up his phone, and probably what the Gulls and Sean see are they see me disappear and the phone ring. And the rotary phone
there's a moment in between where like we were all looking at LJ because LJ was talking, and then like the vice mayor looks around, looks at me like, what just happened? And I'm like, I don't know what just happened. We share. There's just like a very comedic facial expression, I think, that happens.
Yes. There's definitely a comedic facial expression. I'll give you that. I'm also just looking at the rules here. So so LJ, you should mark one anomaly.
Yes.
Yeah.
One more anomaly.
So there's something like how to put this. Everyone in this area, in this place, though, you don't see LJ vanish. You just come upon in your mind. You just come upon a moment in which he's not here. Like, if you looked back at this closely later, you might recognize a sort of disconnect in the logic. But
there's that
what's happening is that he's not here. He's not here. You just he's on the phone.
He's not here.
He's on the phone.
And also he hasn't been here the whole time.
Got it.
Well, he kind of has. Yeah, he kind of hasn't, sort of. You know.
This is. It sort of feels like bad editing. Is that sort of what you're thinking? Where I'm in this conversation, and then I'm calling, and then the phone rings, and I'm calling from the office.
I don't know. Here, I'll put it. Okay, yes, I can. Here's exactly how it goes. Wide shot. All of you doing things, right? You're all doing things. Then there's a shot of Greeb saying, "What do I need to do to get you kids?" Blah blah blah. And then there's Coda thinking things over. And then there's a shot of a Gull going, I don't know. And then the phone rings. And then Greaves picks it up. And it's LJ. And then we get a wide shot. And LJ's not there.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, good.
Amazing.
That's good. That's good cartoon right there. Yeah.
And he picks it up and says, yes, hello.
This invasive forest needs to stop. It's threatening the beach of my friends. It's threatening the home of my family. It's spreading too far and too fast. And you know that this is not what is supposed to happen. I am prepared to help you with something else. If you stop this, if you call back this forest, and this is a, I'm trying to make a deal. Is a deal sway? Is this or is this a faction move?
This is a sway because it's one person.
Got it. Okay, so sway. Not my best here. But let's see how it goes. Do I wanna I don't want to keep marking anomaly of getting a little no, I do. I do want to keep marking anomaly.
Because you get to clear it if you can pull this off, right?
Exactly. I get to get back to 1. So 3. It's a 6. It's a 6, which is secretly a 5.
Oh no.
So really on this sway.
Isn't there
I offended or scared them?
You can like push yourself to get an improvement? Is that a mechanic?
Is that a thing?
I don't remember that being a mechanic of this one.
I feel like I've already gone pretty far with this.
That's true. There definitely is push yourself, though.
Mm-hmm.
You can. It says essence. You can mark your playbook essence to push yourself or help out another character.
Oh yes.
Can help. So does that mean someone else can help? If I could get to a 7, that would be great, because I just realized this is very much a +1 forward versus my cheek situation. So I'm at 6. Yeah. All I need is a 7.
So here's what I'd like to rule the following. Because Normally, I think you have to push yourself before you roll, but and help before you roll. But since one of you just brought that up as a possibility, I would like to allow you to do that now in hindsight.
So I think pushing yourself involves, it says you roll 3d6 and discard the lowest.
Okay.
But you do have to mark.
But it
So
has
that's
to.
what I just did. That's what I just did. I pushed myself. I marked anomaly to push myself to get 3. Unfortunately, these were my 3. There's not a so there's
Can
not
someone
a there's not a like a
yeah.
sit
else help you?
there in this game.
But
Is it can
I
you
mean, I
either
think
push yourself or
rules
help
is
another character? Is
written.
that
I could do the same thing for LJ, but it's
But my
still to
roll will
roll
stand.
3, right? Like I think rolling 3 and dropping at the lowest is
That's about the best you get.
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I think that we are, and I'm just looking to
He's already
see if
juiced.
because we decided it's very clearly sway, which I'm not, which is my -1, which cancels out the +1. And I think that's it. So
I
mean, interesting. Sometimes interesting things happen when stuff goes wrong.
Okay, I
Yeah.
gotta make something happen here. So then on a miss, you might offend or scare them, tarnish your reputation, or make a rival. So one thing I want to do based on last time is I'm not just gonna do like no, because like he could just hang up, but he's not gonna hang up on you because that just doesn't go anywhere. So what the hell does he?
I mean, maybe this conversation goes really badly. Maybe what he wants is very bad. Maybe he's a rival, but he is still, like maybe there's some version of this that is worse than a devil's bargain. Like, what does he want?
Yes. Yeah, he says, very well, perhaps you can be of some use to me. I'll call this forest off. I'll scale it back. I'll put it where it was. I'll prune it down. If you aid me in eliminating these gulls from our fair city, these pestilent, disorderly creatures that fly in the face of everything that our lovely establishment stands for.
Wow. That's good. Fuck, man. It had to be the gulls. What happens when you fill your anomaly track?
Die.
When you mark the last box on your track.
Die.
No. When you mark the last box on your track, you drop out of the scene
you don't die.
and return later with a fracture.
Yes, so it's like which is like just complicating your character, right?
I have no idea how to play this game.
Yeah, I think fractures. Fractures. You have a limited number of you can't heal fractures, and you have a limited number of them before you're totally out of the game.
Yeah,
you become an NPC, basically.
My instinct here is to my instinct here is to is that this is where I'm thinking back to that moment with those gulls, right? Like we had those gull memories, right? And these are popping up right now.
The premium content.
Yeah,
I'm remembering. Yeah, we're not going to repeat it because it's premium. But I'm remembering these beautiful moments with these gulls. And God, I think wow, there's really two ways it can go. I think that I'm gonna say I'm going to let I think in the timeline, the way I remember it is it was we made the deal, right? I don't remember, but I think that the way that the timeline was, the way that I set up the premonition was we made the deal.
Yeah.
And I think what's going to happen is I'm going to say never.
Okay.
And I'm marking anomaly. I'm filling, my track is full, and who knows what happens to me. I think
shit.
No, and you hang up the phone and now you're out of the scene and it's just me, the vice mayor, and two other guys and an unconscious person.
And a bunch of seagulls.
And a bunch of seagulls.
Seagulls,
can you like pick me up and carry me away?
Probably not, but we definitely can mob everyone else in the scene to give you cover to escape. If you want.
So, well, LJ, can you give us a description of how that is on your end when you hang up that phone?
I mean, that's do we want to? So I think that what we could do is I think that before I hang up the phone, this is how I would imagine it. Before I hang up the phone, I see with that ice cream. So during this conversation, I've been, fidgeting with the ice cream in my pocket, and I think that I see, as he says, give up the gulls. I see a future where me and my ice pick go taking out gulls. We go not taking out, and we're not going to show that, but we're going to show, for instance, we're going to show LJ the forest behind the line, and LJ with a heavy, bulky trash bag, and clear skies, nothing in the skies. And we see those images, and it's gray and it's bad. And my house all nice and clear, everything pristine, no gulls. And LJ snaps back and says, never. And I think that with that hang up, it's like a sharp click. Like, I think we see the hang up on the other side, and we have no idea where LJ is now.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's amazing. And Coda, for a moment, for like a moment, you just it takes you a moment to remember LJ's first name, basically.
Because he's disappeared so completely.
Or something. There's been like a thing happened.
There was a weird little shudder in the timeline.
Okay.
Disconnect.
Okay, so I find myself now facing down the vice mayor, and I'm gonna try a different tack, which is listen, Greebs. This is really not cool what you're doing. This whole forest thing. This is really bad for the town, for Blue. I can't let you keep going with this. And me and my friends, we are going to stand up to you. We're going to stop you however we can. If that means, calling for a special election or whatever, then we'll do that. But we're not going to stand for it. And I don't know if you've noticed, but we can get some things done when we really put our minds to it. So I think it's I think you have to admit that, like, this isn't going to work. You're not going to be able to turn this whole beach into a forest or whatever you're trying to do, man.
Okay, can you roll a sway?
I don't want to, but That's a 5. Is what that is.
We're rolling
Okay.
today.
Okay. Uh, okay.
What? How bad does that get?
Well, it just fails.
Okay.
You might offend or scare them, tarnish your reputation, or make a rival. But he's already a rival, and this is the
All
second
right.
sway that's failed.
In that case,
So
I can see that this didn't work. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm out of options, which means
Call time.
I mean, I quite possibly.
well, there has to be. I mean, there has to be. I gotta take a move here.
All right, take a move. Take a move.
Hold on, I gotta consult some GM stuff.
Your available move pool.
Yeah.
The gulls are trying to take like cues from you, but they are not very good at being like patient and sitting by and not attacking things. So they if it seems like stuff continues to go south, they are just gonna straight up mob because that's their
Oh,
that's their
go-to
deal.
tactic.
That's what they do.
I know what happens. Okay.
Oh god.
It's funny how so much of this is not just I'm not authoring the story so much as I'm just like
receiving it.
seeing how it has to go. Because once I see the way that it has to go, that's just I heard once that a good story ending is both surprising and inevitable. So in this case, Coda, while you're saying all these things, because you're not naturally you know, you're not really naturally a cheek person, a sway person. So as you're making these points, which are pretty good, I mean, the logic of what he's doing does not necessarily stack up from where you're sitting. But the point is that you're kind of reaching deep, and while you're reaching deep, he's also reaching deep, and you fail to notice that
Oh no.
he's not really listening to you. He's doing a little bit of document editing.
Oh no, that's not good.
And as you finish what you're saying, he, with a flourish, signs an addendum. And as he signs it, the forest roars to life because it is now open 24 hours.
Oh no, okay.
Oh no.
That's pretty bad.
I'd like to use the restroom, so I'd love to run an ad for 1:30 because we have another one coming up anyways.
Yeah.
So let's do that. And what's that? Yeah, we're approaching time, but I have to keep all of my fluids completely perfect.
Yeah.
In order so that I can channel the story.
Sure.
For sure.
I'll be right back. Y'all can also vamp if you want, but I'm gonna run an ad.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just thinking that sounds like a very good potential cliffhanger to stop on.
We still adding?
Nope. Ad has just finished.
Oh, wait a second.
Okay. uh
So I was
so here's the thing. Oh, go ahead.
I was saying if we want to stop there, that's a pretty good cliffhanger to stop on.
Um
Or
I'd
we
like
can
to
keep
go a
going.
little bit farther.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, although I do want to maybe do an edit to another scene because I don't want to keep LJ sidelined too long because that feels like that's
Oh,
like the end of
I'm
encounter.
yeah, that's true. But I'm fine with it, honestly. Like
Okay.
I feel like that's a great place to end this scene. Like to end LJ just like washed out of the scene from too much chaos, and like
Yeah.
there's going to be another scene, and it'll be interesting to see how it comes back. I think that this is like I'm no problem with that.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
at this point it's probably too late to be helpful, but the seagulls are going to attack Grebes and the folks. They've just been, like they've been holding themselves back, and shit is getting. It seems like it's getting worse and worse, and they are not very good at not attacking everything. Um,
Okay.
so it doesn't have to. It's not necessarily going to be an actual like trying to inflict harm so much as trying to be just noisy and chaotic, providing enough cover if Coda wants to try and escape during the chaos, he probably can. But also just to, I guess, like express anger in a
Roll to
seagull sort of
express
way.
anger. Sure. And I mean, just for more context too, I'm gonna like let's we're continuing in the same continuity here, but it is a different scene now. So the forest has entered the encounter because the forest now roars to life. It is writhing, it is moving, it is freshly rested after a nice couple hours off. Greaves himself looks shocked a bit at how lively this forest has become, and he takes a few steps away from it as it starts to encroach on the broken pieces of road.
I think gulls, beach gulls are going to try and mob. I think boardwalk gulls are going to try and go find someone else from the boardwalk. I know it's like late at night, so there might not be anyone. Can we try and find like Jake Lopez and see if he is like around and can assist?
Yeah. Um,
I don't know if there's a faction move maybe to try and do.
yeah, you could do call for aid.
Yeah.
Seek out specialized help or resources.
Hmm.
Sure. Yeah, Jake Lopez is part of the community.
Means of communication, because I can't talk because I'm a bird. Um,
Hmm. Now you could also just go get Jake Lopez specifically. I mean, I guess we're running into this thing where like because it's a story, people do sort of, a character does sort of represent a faction.
yeah.
So I guess I'd like to encourage you to
I mean,
think in
I
terms
guess
of
I can try and
is it
get
the yeah
Jake Lopez to make some calls, right? Because like if he just comes
yeah
to this scene on his own, he's probably not going to be able to do much. He's just a guy, but
yeah
his whole deal is he's well connected, and so like maybe he knows someone he can call, or he can, um,
yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know,
that's cool.
he can rally the
Okay,
community.
so you know where Jake Lopez lives. I actually, as a human being, don't know that off the top of my head. Do you want to weigh in on where does Jake Lopez live?
Well, he runs like a cafe on the boardwalk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it potentially one of those things where like he has a little apartment in the attic there that he just kind of like lives on the premises?
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. I love that. I love that for him. It's very cozy.
Okay, so is this call for aid or is it rally?
I guess. Okay. I see. When it's call for aid, that is if you want help or resources. When it's rally, you are inciting members of the faction to act. So are you looking for people to be acting, or are you looking for something that the faction could give you that would help?
Do we know
think
what
at this
Jake's
point-
faction is?
Community. I think.
Yeah,
It's
he's
community.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it needs to be rally because I don't think there's anything they can give the gulls that the gulls can work with on their own. I think it has to be action from the larger group to like come in and maybe be disgruntled at the mayor or something. He is, theoretically held to the sway of public opinion.
cool.
The mob mentality didn't work that well in City Hall, but you can never know. We can try it again.
It helped for a minute.
Yep.
It did help for a minute. Okay. So I'm going to roll for rally. You don't add anything to faction moves, right? It's just a raw
You
dice
add
roll.
your faction. You add your
Oh,
faction
yes.
prestige
faction
or whatever
alignment.
it's called.
Faction alignment or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see what mine is so I know what I'm going to be adding. I think I am at I'm at +1 with community. Okay.
Okay.
I rolled a 9 +1 is 10. So I
Nice.
get to choose 3 options. You're
Oh
right.
my gosh. Okay.
I
Okay.
have the only good dice tonight. Uh, let's say, they will not back. So I get to choose 3. Let's say they will not back down in the face of resistance. They
Okay.
will do exactly as
Incredible.
you asked.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what owing a debt on behalf of the seagulls would imply. So I'm kind of tempted to say I don't owe them a debt just to reduce complication on that.
Like you have to drop bagels off from a
Yeah.
garbage dump.
So I'm gonna say I don't owe them a debt because they don't know that the seagulls are doing all this. So they will not back down in the face of resistance. They will do exactly as you asked, and we don't owe them a debt in return.
Okay. Can you
Jake,
describe how you? Yeah. Can you describe how you wake up Jake Lopez?
Yeah, so I think the he's woken up by at first he thinks it's like a hard rain, which is a little bit odd because it's been clear completely for days, and but then as he wakes up a little bit more, he realizes it's like a dozen beaks and little claws tapping at the glass of his window over and over as there's a bunch of seagulls trying to slam it, and as soon as he has witnessed the gulls walking into his store and displaying some kind of intelligence. So I think they're going to try and when he goes up to them to see what's going on, they're going to try and do that sort of Lassie lead you to Timmy in the well kind of thing, to at least get him into view of the so he can see the forest and the construction site and the vice mayor and see the situation, not necessarily that get him involved in it, but so he can see what's going on, and realize that something bad's about to happen.
Yeah, it goes exactly as you say. He says, what's that? You're trying to talk? Are you trying to talk to me? Okay, come in. What is it? Oh no. And he leans out the window of his, overlooking his shop, and he sees again, silhouetted by these work lights, Greaves and Coda both looking a bit staggered by what they see behind them, which is these trees sort of undulating creepily in these harsh lights that cast shadows and silhouettes on them. And he says, okay, I got to make some calls. And I think that's where I'm going to call this week's Blue California. Unless you want a post-credits sequence.
You gonna play us out?
Do you want a post-credits sequence?
Do we
I can play.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, but
Yeah,
we
yeah.
do the music
Okay.
first, right? Don't we get to? Gotta dance.
Yeah. Okay. Coda. Okay, before the Coda,
Yeah.
a tree branch whacks you in the head
God
and you
damn it.
fall unconscious.
Of course I do. Just trying to get. I'm just trying to get my beach back.
Keep the stream going after this. There's more. To all of us. We're gonna do a Marvel thing. Coda.
Yeah.
You're on a beach, a perfect beach. On your side, laying down. Your head hurts a little bit. There's a rumbling in the clear water, and a huge mound rises.
Oh no.
From offshore, and then a smaller mound rises from offshore. It's a deep, deep brown color, a delicious, creamy brown color, and off of this creature rolls foam, with tiny speckles of shaved chocolate, and the head of this magnificent beast rises up and regards you with a sort of 1930s cartoon grin and says, "Coda, it's me, Nesty the Chocolate Leviathan. Why haven't you called?"
What the fuck?
That's a good bumper. That's what